fandom can have you doing some strange things, but so can your wallet. Today's tough question brought to you by Tennessee Cider Company.
Today's tough question. Take a side. Take a stand. The Dave Hooker Show, a presentation of offthehooksports.com.
All right, so since Saturday, I'm seeing people go crazy on social media. I got 2 in the draw. I want you to go ahead and buy these tickets because I'm not going after that Missouri game. I mean, seriously, Jimmy, if I've seen one post, and I probably spend more time on social media than you do,
That would be true.
True. I've seen at least 2 dozen. So we asked this question on our YouTube page, and that is the poll. So today's tough question, brought to you by Tennessee Cider Company, is: do Tennessee fans owe it to Josh Heupel to not sell their tickets to Georgia fans, to go out of their way to either make sure it's a Tennessee fan or just go to the game? Your thoughts on that in general, because the last thing you want is for there to be a bunch of red in Neyland Stadium, right?
You're right about that. Now, I'll say this. I'm not one to try to tell fans what to do, even though fans like to tell me what to do and where to go. However, if that's your choice as a fan and you feel like Tennessee has no chance and you want to sell it and you want to make a bunch of money, that's your call. I don't think it's a good look. I don't think it's a good look for Tennessee. I would think that if you're really an avid Tennessee fan, you'd want to be in the stands and cheer your team on. Even Rick Neuheisel with CBS says he gives Tennessee absolutely a fighting chance to beat Georgia. Now, I don't know how many others say that. He's not picking Tennessee, but that's what Neuheisel said at the quarterback club. By the way, I'll write a blog for you on that one. I'll have it to you later today. But I just don't think it's a real good look to do that. And I remember years ago when there was a huge booster that told me this. You remember that in 2007, maybe Alabama comes to 2008. They come to Knoxville. They beat Tennessee. There were about 25, 30,000 Alabama fans in the stands. And a booster told me, we're not going to – Philip Fulmer's not going to be back. I said, why? He said, you can't have Alabama taking over your stadium. Now, that's not going to happen with Heupel, okay? It's too early in the tenure. But you don't want an opposing team taking over your stadium. And if you have enough Tennessee fans that sell their tickets, I just think that's a bad look for Tennessee.
Agreed. Caleb?
I think it's a bad look for Tennessee. I agree. Now, I'm with Jimmy. I don't usually like to say – I have to amend something I said about 2 weeks ago, which is 2 weeks ago I said never blame fans for not showing up because it's capitalism. And Jimmy, I said one of the greatest scams in American history is professional sports owners saying you should support my team. You should support our team even when we're losing. No other business is allowed to say you should buy my product even if it sucks. Okay, so
by the way, click like and subscribe, everyone.
But no, it's true. Like, sports owners have gotten away with that way too long, and they're the only business where you can literally have city governments just build their stadium and everything. But that's a different rant of mine altogether. But anyways, however, I do think it's a case by case. 2008, I got no issue with Tennessee fans not showing up for the Alabama game. The program had gotten stale. They were upset. They were right to be upset with what was happening. During the decade of dysfunction, if Tennessee fans didn't want to fill up Neyland Stadium, they had every right to because the administration was putting together a crappy product for them. If you're not going to show up for this game because you're upset that your team didn't win the East in Heupel's third year, you've lost all perspective about the program right now. I mean,
I agree with that, Caleb. What do you think about that, Jimmy? Because I agree 100%.
Yeah, I think he's right. I mean, you look at Heupel's won 34 games. No, that's not right. 24 games, I guess. 11 plus 7, 18 plus. Yeah, he's won about 24, 25 games. If you had said when he was hired and he would have about 25 wins under his belt right now, would you have taken that as a Tennessee fan? Absolutely. That 11-win season spoiled a lot of people. That averaging 46 points and over 500 yards, it spoiled a lot of people. So Caleb's exactly right. People have jumped on this bandwagon, and now they're, if you can't match that 11-win last year, there's something wrong. Your program's going the right direction. I don't think that's fair. You got to give them a number of years to do that. And Caleb's right about this too. He took over an absolute mess. there were 40-something players that could have been on the roster that weren't. The NCAA was hanging over your head. So I think Heupel's done a terrific job. Now, having said that, going forward, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next year. But at this point, I think it is a different argument about selling your tickets in 2008 versus selling them to an opponent this year.
Okay, I'm gonna go to, you got SC Scout guy who's a South Carolina fan and said at least you're not struggling to make a bowl game in your third year, talking about Shane Beamer. And then Travis post on our message board, if I had someone offer me $500 a ticket, I don't care if it's Mark Richt and David Pollock, I'm selling them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I appreciate Jimmy's stance on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say if you're a Tennessee fan and you purchased season tickets, you paid all that money. All the program is asking you to do is go over there for the afternoon, make it to halftime, get hammered before if you want to, Jimmy, but it's not like we're asking anybody to lay concrete. I mean, you've already got everything set up from the season. You should go to the game. If it's a blowout at half, I'm not going to argue with you walking out, but I think you should go to the game if you're a Tennessee fan because this affects recruiting and affects how your program's viewed.
So what you're saying is you get hammered before your team gets hammered.
That's exactly.
I got it.
That's the steps of hammering.
There's some logic to that. I see that. Yeah. It gets back to my opinion. I think it's a bad look. You know, you probably think it's a worse look, I guess. So you're saying no, they should not do it under any circumstance. Part of mine is a lot of people want to recoup the money they have invested. So again, I'm not telling them what they should do, but I don't think that's the best decision for the program to go sell your tickets and have a whole bunch of Georgia fans in the stands.
I don't want to get off on a tangent on this, but I'll just throw this out there. If Josh Heupel had said on Monday that he was going to play, I don't know, some freshman quarterback named, what's his name? I don't think you'd have any problem keeping your fans in Neyland Stadium, Jim.
Yeah, I'm reminded when you say that, I think I've got the right year. The opening of the 2004 season, and Tennessee is going to play, I don't know, UNLV on Labor Day. And they announced that they're going to be starting Brent Schaefer and Eric Ainge. Those would be the two guys that are going to play. It was packed because fans wanted to see what these freshman quarterbacks were all about. A lot of fans are in love with what they don't know. And they didn't know what these guys would look like, but they've heard a lot of really good things about them. So they wanted to go watch that. Dave, I think you're right. I think if they had announced on Monday they're starting Nico, that there would be a significant difference in the turnout of Tennessee fans.
Not even starting. Just I'm going to play him a couple series. I would take that.